Hi, this is David Clive with Deed Ventures. In this video, we're going to take a look at a property that we have for sale in Otero County, which is in Colorado. As you can see from this opening shot here, it's about 3 hours from Denver. So if you're looking for a nice like holiday weekend getaway to get out in the country, this is a great spot. It's 40 acres, and it's about an hour and a half from Pueblo, which is a large city in southern Colorado. And it's also pretty close to Rocky Ford and La Junta. So anyway, this property does have a unique feature. It's got a nice watering hole. Here's the property. We'll take a look at it in Google Earth. Let's see if I can pull that up really quickly. So here it is in Google Earth. And to help you get a better feel for the topography, we'll slant this down a little bit. So as you can see, it's fairly flat terrain, even though it has the ravine in it. And we can kind of spin around to help you get a feel for what it looks like from different angles. And one thing to note, oh wow, it's doing weird things. One thing to note, what I have here in shaded blue is based on GPS coordinates, but it looks like there is a fence that runs from right here, if you can see it, and then over. So these GPS coordinates may not quite align with what people have done in terms of putting up fencing around the property. So anyway, it's a nice location. And it's unique because it's the only property around that has a water feature. So this is the local watering hole. Let's take a look. 40 acres is pretty big, but let's take a look at the terrain by kind of walking around on it. So as you can see, it's, this ravine isn't super deep, but it's enough to hold water. So and the rest of the property compared to this is fairly flat. And as you can see, so let's exit out of there. So yeah, 40 acres. You have some tire tracks here. This is also a great area if you're into like recreational vehicles. And if you're into four-wheeling and dirt biking and that kind of stuff, there are a lot of great spots around here. You have some interesting terrain nearby. Just down here, you've got the Black Hills, and you've got the OV Mesa. So it's kind of an interesting area. Also, to give you a feel for what the terrain looks like, we can pull up some photos here. And gallery, see if anything pops up. Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. So this is a site that was an important water stop for people on the Santa Fe Trail, not too far from here. And let's see if we can pull up some photos of, okay, so there's a nearby building, old ranch house. So this, out in the country, Colorado, a little bit drier, like I mentioned. There's some wildlife in the area. So yeah, kind of dry grasslands. One thing that's kind of cool is that I think that have been a lot of fossils found nearby. Not to say that there are any on the property, but there are probably dig sites. I'm not super familiar with it, but there are probably places you could go to nearby to do some digging if you wanted to do that for an activity. So, good location, really unique water feature here, on the water feature. So if you want to see what it looks like at different times of year and different years, you can go back to 2013, which is pretty dry, 2011, which was super dry, and this is in late October was a very dry year. But as we go back farther, you see that it usually has moisture in it. So let me see if I can, yeah, so 2004 in September, December of 2003, and then all the way back to 1998. So anyway, with that concludes kind of the review of the property. In terms of pricing, I often do comparison on what else is selling around the area. But here in Otero County, it's a decent sized county, but there just isn't much available. I mean, there's one property that's listed for $55,000, one for $96,000, and one for $130,000 in the same size range. So, I mean, we can maybe widen this out to like 20 acres to 80 acres to kind of see if we can get a per acre comparison. But there's really not much. So there's one for 68 acres, and it's going for 25,000. 70 acres, 58,000. So, I mean, these are kind of all over the place, and there aren't very many comps. So let's zoom out a bit here. Not too far, but just a little bit. Keep it in Colorado, because sometimes there are state-to-state differences. And this is probably too far zoomed out. And kind of do a comparison of what else is out there. Let's make this. There are a lot of parcels in Colorado that are about 35 acres to 45. And this parcel that we're doing this video on is 40 acres, well, plus or minus a little. So anyway, the cheapest one we have around out of 100 listings is for about 12,000, and then 13,000, and then up from there. And I don't know what features these guys have, but they're probably all just flat, dry land without any interesting water features. So with that, I think this property is priced pretty competitively. Hopefully, our business model is to sell them quickly. So hopefully it moves quickly. If you're interested, please reach out, and you can go to the link on the bottom of this page in YouTube, or in this page in YouTube, to purchase the property or look at the property on our site, deedventures.com. And be sure to check out other properties we have. There are a few Colorado properties that we're adding in the next day or two, and so if you're interested in acquiring some land in the area, look us up. We would appreciate it. And if you follow us, you'll be the first to, or subscribe, you'll be the first to see the new videos when they're posted and get a chance to get a first look at our properties. So anyway, thanks for watching, and wish you the best.